Hello everybody, and for the final time in 2023, it's time to take a deep breath, shuffle forward to the edge of your seat, because we are ready for action in the Idemitsu Mazda MX-5 Cup presented by BF Goodrich Tyres. What a season it has been. And we finish up as tradition dictates here at Road Atlanta, just outside of Braselton, Georgia. 12 corners, 2.54 miles. 12 corners, as I say. There's a little bit of something for everything. Action areas into turn 1, into turn 6, and certainly down the hill into turn 10, possibly even at turn 5 as well at the end of the signature S's. It's been a brilliant season that has brought us to this point, with both the rookie and the overall championship still up for grabs. Think back 12 months. We decided the championship in the pit lane after the checkered flag with a post-race penalty to one of the cars that was not in the fight that changed the final results. We raced earlier on this Petit Le Mans weekend, and the action started even before the green. The number 32 car of the newcomer Hindhaugh was spun before the green, and that was the worst possible start coming down to the green flag. Aaron Johnson led into the restart, and then we had the points leader in the rookie class, Nate Cicero, going around. He dropped down outside the top 5 in class, but at the front of the field we had sideways, we had backwards, we had up in the air. Gresham Wagner somehow spun his way through everyone else. Can't decide whether that was acrobatics or ice skating moves there towards the turn 10 gravel. Tyler Gonzalez took the lead, and then we had the number 13 car into the wall for Robert Noeger. He got airborne as well. Final 2 corners. Gonzalez back to the lead in the white number 35 car. He thinks he's got it won. Blocks off the inside, but round the outside, Connor Zilic comes through with an outstanding trademark move in Idemitsu Mazda MX-5 and took the overall victory in the first race. Absolutely outstanding stuff. Shea Adam is alongside me. What a season it's been, Shea, and what's the points possibilities here in terms of the championship?
At the front of the field for Aaron Johnson, but then he also needs to get the most laps led and the 10 bonus points for the fastest lap of the race. And to top it all off, Jared Thomas needs to finish at the back of this field, 27th or better. The championship is his.
Let's quickly run through the grid for you. It is the number 5 of Gresham Wagner on pole position from Jean Chautouin on the outside. Then Connor Zilic, and the best of the rookies, Thomas Annunziata. At that time, Thomas's time came from the first race fastest laps, because we had such a truncated and interrupted qualifying session that a lot of the guys didn't get 2 fast laps in. So Annunziata, who started 12th yesterday, finds himself in 4th, and that's a much better representation of the pace of that number 10 car.
But the guy he's fighting in that rookie championship, 1 place behind him, 160-point gap is what Cicero has to Annunziata. He's got the advantage. He can afford to sit back and relax, because at this point, Cicero is walking away with an $80,000 check.
Max Sapolsky in 6th, Robert Noeger in 7th, Aaron Johnson in the blue, 24 in 8th. Then the championship leader, Jared Thomas, in the red car, the number 96 with the yellow rollover hoop, and Tyler Gonzalez makes up the top 10. There's some big names just outside there, including Celine Roland, only in 11th position. Now, it looks like we're going to get another lap of green. Another lap before we go to green. I was wondering why they weren't quite formed up there.
The corner worker communications are not fully working. That's why they're taking another lap behind the pace car as it is now. So good that working with the track, race control and communication with everybody out there, trying to make sure that they have everybody before we get going to a green flag situation.
Clock has started, however, and as we've not yet had a start, there will come side by side. A restart, there'll be line in single line, but they will come side by side. Well, I might as well finish running down the grid for you. Soleil Roland in 11th, we mentioned. Jeremy Fletcher in 12th. He's the second of the rookies. Then Hernan Palermo, Jonathan Neudorf, the third of the rookies. Alex Batura in the 33. That's the military camouflage coloured car. Watch him come forward from there. Julian DaCosta, Woody Hyman, Heather Hadley, Anthony McIntosh. Again, that is a time that came from the first race because Anthony had all of his qualifying laps thrown out because he caused the red flag.
All the times for this grid were set by race 2. Yep, because it was so much better conditions for race 2. Just a quick update on the points before we get going to green. We've already mentioned the battle at the head of the field. Third in the championship is still Celine Roland. Fourth is still Gresham Wagner. But we've had a change for fifth after yesterday's race. Nate Cicero is now in fifth with Max Sapolsky in sixth. Robert Noaker, who was in fifth yesterday in the championship, bad race, drops him down to seventh. Then we have Thomas Annunziata in eighth. Connor Zilich now up to ninth. And John Jadouin rounding out the top 10.
And as far as money is concerned,
all of those guys would get a check at the banquet tonight.
Now, are you going to have a literally a briefcase full of money? So when you say real cash money, you open it.
I can't possibly comment on that for the security of our competitors.
All right, it needs to happen. It needs to happen. The Discord group has got a fantastic meme. Every time you mention the words real cash money, there's the opening of the briefcase. The MX-5 safety car lights are out, running in the colours of the Mazda prototype that we had in IMSA for so many years, successful years as well, including here.
2021.
Yeah. Gresham Wagner in the multicoloured number 5 will lead them to the green flag. Now let's hope we are a little more tidy, shall we say, than we were yesterday. It looks good. The green flag's in the air after an extra formation lap under yellow. Wagner pulls to the middle of the road in that orange and green fronted car. The number 5 goes into the first corner, tracked by the rest of the field. That looks good. 1, 2, 3 wide further back. It's the pole man who has converted. Max Sapolsky coming through into 4th position in the number 2 in the green and black car. Hold your breath, everybody, as they come down through the S's. They're playing nicely at the moment.
That's because we still have 41 and a half minutes to go in this race. They don't have the elbows out fully quite yet and fully sharpened. But Gresham Wagner, who was looking for redemption after yesterday's race, leading the way. Further back, we had a moment there for championship aspirant Aaron Johnson. Needs to get to the head of this pack, needs to lead the most laps. So it's okay that he's not leading right now, just as long as he gets to the front and stays there. His cohort, his teammate, his best friend this year has been Jared Thomas, who's right behind him. Jared just needs to stay in that position, as actually we only had 27 starters, so Jared might be okay for the championship.
Yes, because there is a slight difference in the points table calculations depending on how many cars take the green flag. And, well, I have got 28. Because Brian Heitman is shown as taking the start.
He's running now. Good.
Yes, he did resume. So I think there was 28 cars took the green flag. Down towards the final diving right-handed corner. It is still Gresham Wagner in the multicoloured car from the black and blue Hickson Motorsport car in second. Spark performance from Hickson, and that's Connor Zilich just tracking the leader at the moment, and there's a little bit of a gap to Max Sapolsky. Oh, and a huge crash on the front straight, including Heather Hadley in the middle of that. I think 4 cars involved. Heather, the 24 Hickson car, also in there, and that will bring out a full course caution.
32 Hickson car is stopped. That's Christian Hodenland, making his debut this weekend. Rough debut for him. Yes, Heather Hadley stopped on the front straight as well. We have a waving yellow on the front straight, so they are still racing on the rest of the circuit. Everyone else has continued. Now we go to full course caution.
Yeah, had to. There was more than the 2 cars that have stopped. Somebody's going to have run wide at the exit of the final corner, and that was Heather, who came back across the track, and the innocent bystander,
Peter Atwater,
yeah,
just clipped the nose. That's
Not Christian Hodland. He was right the first time, Shea. It was the 32.
But did she clip Ben Keating? Is that what
In the 19 car. Yeah. He was right in there with Anthony McIntosh and Sally Mott. Sally Mott, who followed through. Grant West was right in there as well and must have just avoided it. It was the number 15 of Sally Mott, actually, who checked up in the middle of the track, the white and blue car, and somehow, not once, but twice avoided the spinning red car of Heather Hadley. That is a typical Road Atlanta incident where you commit just slightly too much. Great driving by Ben Keating in the white number 19. Had to put 2 BF Goodrich tyres on the grass. But Sally had to actually come to pretty much a grinding halt there. But as I was saying, typical accident where you just run wide onto the grass and the red Georgia clay. Heather then spearing across the track. Actually, we might see these cars coming down through the pit lane next time around. Track services and the IMSA AMR safety crew there very quickly indeed. Just confirming Spark Performance, Heather Hadley in the number 54 and Hickson Motorsports Christian Hoddenland in the 32. So he's had 2 very eventful starts to the 2 races this weekend.
But unless this results in a DQ for Jared Thomas, this ensures his championship.
Because he can't
can
now
finish no worse than 26th.
Yeah, okay.
So unless he is disqualified post-race for something and moved to the back and awarded no points, this means that he is our first ever repeat champion.
And he's done it in successive seasons as well. Yep. Absolutely brilliant. Defended the championship and becomes our first repeat winner. Good to see Christian and Heather both making their way pretty much unaided out of their MX-5. Look, these are very small, very nimble sports cars, but they are also absolutely, it might be the start of somebody's racing career, but nothing's been skimped on safety. Full FIA safety cage, special racing seat, fire suppression systems. We have literally had these cars flying through the air and landing upside down. WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, I think of earlier this year, and the drivers have stepped away. Safety is something that is never compromised on in this championship or any of the other IMSA championships. So a sad end to 2023 for those 2 drivers.
And it also means that Sally Mott will walk away with a check for this weekend, making her debut in the championship. She will get the best finishing female driver in the field because, unfortunately for Heather Hadley, she will go no further in this race.
Not the way you want to finish any race, but certainly not the way you want to finish a season, even if you're not in championship contention. It's going to be a long time till these cars are back on track competitively. We expect to see them at Daytona for the Rolex 24 in 2024. They've been such entertainment there when they've started their seasons off. Ben Keating in the championship yesterday made a little mistake at the top of the hill, ended up dropping down through the field and finishing. He pitted and came back out, finished a few laps down. That is not the Texans' way. He will want to do a lot better in that number 19 car this race. He's dropped down to 22nd position for the Saito Motorsport Group car. His teammate Tyler Gonzalez in the similar livery car was right up at the sharp end yesterday. He's in 10th position in the 35 at the moment. That very distinctive white and green. So it's the Italian, the tricolore colours, really. It's for those of you who have long memories and enjoy other forms of motorsport. There's a little hint of the Alitalia rally colours in that Saito Motorsport. the white with the green and red on it. That's those colours that graced Everything from Fiat 131 Mia Fioris up to Lancia Deltas and Stratos.
And there are 2 Sato Motorsport Group cars running around on the track. Tyler Gonzalez, in the second of those cars, finished second in the race yesterday. His roll bar is yellow, so his roll cage, when you see the top of the car, is yellow. Ben Keating's is gray, so that's how we can tell the difference between them. Not saying Tyler Gonzalez is a Simpsons character or commenting on anyone's age, just simply noting the difference between the 2 cars. Ben Keating, by the way, the most accomplished guest driver we've ever had. 2 times a Le Mans winner, World Endurance Champion twice over. He's won in IMSA as far as the WeatherTech Championship is concerned in LMP2. He's won every major endurance race in North America. So Ben Keating definitely throws the gauntlet down for drivers to come and race in this series.
It's been popular, and the guest drivers have come and given their all. We've had Parker Kligerman and James Hinchcliffe among the drivers who have come in from other disciplines.
And we know that there is a large contingent of drivers out there who are massive fans of this racing. So hello to all of you. Dale Jr., if you want to come out and try it, please, that would be so much fun. How about maybe Will Power or Simon Pagenaud? I mean, we got a lot of IndyCar drivers who are big fans. Hey, Scotty Mack, hope you're enjoying watching with your puppy in the RV lot. Really want to meet that puppy, by the way.
Scott McLaughlin with us this weekend with Kevin Simpson, who he will be competing against in IndyCar next year. They're teammates in the main race this weekend. We are just about finished the cleanup. Excellent work again by our track services team. Now, there's nothing in the regulations that says leading laps behind the safety car. They are still clicking over for Gresham Wagner.
All of the ones in the race so far have been led by Gresham Wagner,
for which there are 10 bonus points for the most laps led.
And Wagner is 4th in the championship.
That was my next point.
It would be a big ask for him to get ahead of Celine Roland. If he wins the race, leads the most laps, and gets the fastest lap, and Celine, who is currently in 11th, it would be close. It would be very close between them on that. But Celine climbs up any positions, and I feel like his position in 3rd in the championship is safe.
$1.2 million, the bumper real cash money prize fund this weekend, or this series, should I say, for the series championship. And we've always had big money at the end of the championship. That hasn't changed this year. It's still $250,000 for the championship winner, $80,000 for the rookie, and points paying in the final championship standings, cash paying all the way down to 10th position. What's been added this year is that each race has also had a prize money contingency, starting with $6,000 for the top finish, and that's what's taken the prize fund to over $1.2 million. I'll just say that again, $1.2 million, and it has literally funded people's career.
The number of champions from this series who are currently racing this weekend in the IMSA paddock is staggering. You learn your trade here, you perfect it, you use it well, and in Gresham Wagner's case, you win the championship and come back because you like to win money.
Wagner has gone early for the restart. It is single file, just over 31 minutes to go. As they come through, Connor Zilic has got a good run through turn 12, but the 3rd place car of Max Opalski, the black and green number 2, comes down the inside of turn 1. Now the problem is there, he might get cut off. The lead has changed, so Zilic has gone through. Opalski's pushing in 3rd. Now, who led across the line? Gresham Wagner still led across the line. Opalski goes over the curbs and is being challenged by Robert Noaker, I think, who's had a cracking restart. Is that Noaker in 4th, or is that? Yes, it is. As he comes through.
Or Noaker's in 6th now, actually. That's Jean Jadouin.
That's Jean Jadouin, yes. I was wondering that myself. It's the 39 car of Jadouin.
From McCumbee McAleer Racing. He's really hitting a fine form at the end of this season.
Great way to finish the season.
Outside of the front row. Oh, and a spin. That's Farhan Siddiqui. He's gone around in the number 95. No, that's not the Lightning McQueen livery, so that must be a backup car.
Ah, yes, good point. That was at turn 5. Always tricky. A little bump as you turn in there. You've got to run your Right-hand side tyres all the way up the outside curb before you turn in. Actually turn in a bit later than you would expect. Now, our new leader, Conor Zilic, down towards the braking area at turn 10A, and for the moment, Gresham Wagner decides to stay in second place with Max Opalski in third. Then a little gap to everyone else who's in fourth.
The rest of the field in fourth position as diving down the inside. Thomas Annunziata trying to make the move on Jean Jadouin coming through turn 12. Behind him, he's getting a little bit of help from Noaker, and they go 3 wide across the track. Hernan Palermo almost to the pit wall.
Touch. 1, 2, 3 times behind Robert Noaker in the white and black number 13.
That's Johnson.
Aaron Johnson, second in the championship, goes rally crossing in the blue number 24. Has lost a handful of positions there. And that, well, his championship is almost certainly over, and we've got a car stopped on the back straight as well. That is covered at the moment under local yellow, but it's facing in the wrong direction. I think that's Peter Atwater. Yeah, for JTR.
That's definitely the number 26, stopped out on the track. Peter not having a great weekend this time out, unfortunately. Can he get it refired and
I think there might be suspension damage on the back of that car, Shea. I'm not sure that can stay there. So little runoff here.
Wow, Zilic is checked out from Gresham Wagner, whose mirrors are full of Max Opalski.
Yes. So that was in between turn 6 and turn 7, I think, that Peter Atwater has found himself.
Here comes Tyler Gonzalez looking down the inside of Robert Noaker, going into 10, gets the pass done nice and early, and way off is Thomas, no, not Thomas Annunziata, Jonathan Neudorf, the number 55. He does manage to regain control of the car and get it back on the racetrack.
I think he's going to get a 2x there if he was on iRacing for going through there. That's the quickest I've ever seen anybody go through there. I'm not sure he actually lost that much ground. He was sensible enough to slow down and rejoin in a safe manner.
It's probably a little bit jerky right now from all the rocks on his BF Goodrich's.
Yeah, sure enough. Jared Thomas leading a group of cars that he doesn't need to be fighting with at the moment. I don't think. He's dropped down through the field. He's got Alex Bashura right behind him. 12th, 13th on down there for our champion-elect. Drifts into turn 5. Man, he's thrown that car around a bit. Got really sideways on turning going into turn 5 and rode the inside curb more than I think he would have been planning to.
And Neudorf is off. Is that at the top of turn 3? He's got some damage to the car, so yeah, maybe there was dirt on the tires that he wasn't expecting. Continuing on, though.
There's a nasty dent in the driver's door of the Natara car. And, there's more than that because he's crunched the front end as well.
Right front.
He's going to limp that car back. So this all happened at the top of the hill at turn 2. But before that, he's going down into turn 10A. Oh, did he get a little touch there that pushed him off the track? He goes through the beach.
You know who's behind him was Jared Thomas.
It was Jared Thomas, championship leader. He goes through the motorcycle chicane and back on again. Let's have another look. No, he didn't get touched by Thomas. He missed his braking point. And actually, do you know what? That was really good driving because instead of absolutely nailing the back of the car in front of him, he took that evasive action. I suspect dirt on the tyres at the top of the hill has been what's done for him. So you... as they say, no good turn goes unstoned. And in trying to do the right thing early in the next lap, he's had his own problems with 25.5 minutes to go. Conor Zilic has been reeled back in by Gresham Wagner, Tyler Gonzalez, Max Opalski, then Robert Noaker. And then just behind them is Thomas Annunziata and Celine Roland.
And that's big because that means the two Hickson Motorsports cars have teamed up together. So watch Annunziata and Roland because they can work as a tandem to get back up to their teammate, Conor Zilic.
That's the duo that are behind the leading 4 there. Yesterday, we saw that Tyler Gonzalez in the white, green and red car in third position as they come down the hill. He has a bit of the Shane van Gisbergen about him. He's a bit of a tyre whisperer because he definitely had more grip at the end of the race. He almost turned it into a victory. He'll have learned from yesterday. But that white car in third position, the number 35 with the yellow rollover hoop, is able to move around. He's able to use tighter exits to corners when he needs to. So the setup and the driving is very good indeed. I said yesterday that I thought the body language of the car was good. It wasn't sliding around, but he had good pace. He's doing it again today. He'll be a factor again at the end.
Tyler's last 3 races in the Mazda Cup at Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta have occupied every single step of the podium, first, second, and third. So Tyler, very familiar with each of the steps. I think he likes the middle one a little bit more. That's probably where he's aiming today.
He's not frightened of heights. He doesn't mind being on the top one.
No.
That seems reasonable. Zilic then with Gresham Wagner right in his wheel tracks. Tyler Gonzalez a respectful distance behind. He's still getting the tour. Gets a lovely run through turn 6. Sets him up nicely for 7. Possibly too good a run through turn 6, and he had to check him up through turn 7. And that has allowed Max Opalski in the green and black car just to close up. A little bit of bump drafting. These cars make a big hole in the air. No big aerodynamic devices on them, but that open top with the roll cage disturbs the air. You get into the gap behind the car ahead and you get a huge tour. And that's what's happening now. Here comes Gonzalez down the inside towards the leaders. Top 6 back together. Made that the top 7 now back together all the way down to Celine Roland at the back of that group in the number 87 car.
And this is where Connor Zilic is going, come on, Celine, bring Thomas up. Let's make a 3-car pack and check out from the rest of these guys.
Gonzalez consistently pulling out of the draft. I wonder if he's just trying to keep the front of his car cool as the lead changes again into turn 1 with still 22.5 minutes to go. Wagner goes back to the lead.
Well, and we have a tie right now for most laps led between Wagner and Zilic, so clearly it's Wagner's turn to lead a few more laps.
Always reminds me of a Grand Tour bicycle peloton going on here. If you work together and don't fight each other, you've got half a chance of breaking away from the rest of the field. And that's what the top 7 have done at the moment. There's about 2.5 seconds between the back of that top 7, which is still Celine Roland in the Hickson Motorsports number 87, one of our multicoloured cars. And then Jared Thomas, championship leader for JTR, has fought his way inside the top 10 to 8th position. He's brought John Jadouin along with him, but they're 2.5 seconds back from the last cars in this line. Actually, Celine Roland's just gone through into 6th place there. He's just sitting ahead of the Annunziata car.
There's a gap now between Opalski and Roland and Annunziata because Roland got around Annunziata.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As soon as you start to fight, you're slowing each other down. Here comes the Tyler Gonzalez white machine. Stands out easily. The second of the white machines, the one with the black and purple on it, that is the number 13 of Robert Neuiker. Robert Neuiker racing with a number of cars in this race. And Robert certainly getting quicker right the way through the season and now genuinely a race-winning contender.
I think they're just 1 car for Robert Neuiker this weekend.
Is there?
There were about 5 at Road America, but then they dropped back down to just the 1 for VIR.
Joe Rainey's running one of their cars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Brian Heitman is in a Robert Neuiker racing car as well.
My apologies to Robert Neuiker Racing.
So through turn 5, Gresham Wagner over the top of the brow into turn 6. Pick your braking spot here. There used to be white marks across the road there, and that was really useful to spot your braking points. Since the track's been improved down through the years, they've disappeared, and picking your braking point into a slightly downhill turn 6 is actually quite difficult. And it's a fast corner as well because it's dished, it's balled onto the inside. There's a little bit of banking there.
It basically is where there's a break in the concrete now is where drivers look for. So you have to be able to see out the left side of your car, not necessarily out your windshield. Tyler Gonzalez is sick of looking at someone else out of his windshield. He's decided it's time for him to lead this race.
And that was with assistance from Connor Zilic in the Hickson number 72. So Spark Performance displaced from the lead. Saito Motorsport Group goes to the lead, and Hickson Motorsport in second. By the way, just keeping an eye on Ben Keating. He's in 22nd position at the moment in the similar livery car to the car which now leads, and that's the first lap lead from Tyler Gonzalez since we started this race some 25 minutes ago. Still 20 minutes to go in the final round of the Idemitsu Mazda MX-5 Cup presented by BF Goodrich Tyres. It's Petit Le Mans weekend, huge crowd, knowledgeable crowd, trackside watching this, and also on our live video world feed syndications. What a season it's been. And this one has all of the potential ingredients here, Shea, to be another blanket finish in 18.5 minutes time.
Speaking of blankets, you wouldn't need a very big one to cover the top 5 cars out on the racetrack. They're less than a quarter of a second apart. Celine Roland just charging back up to try and get to the tail of Noaker as well and put his personal best Sector 1 time in. A few minutes ago, we saw a really impressive Sector 1 and 2 from Jared Thomas, but he's fallen back again.
Annunziata is the best of the rookies as once again Gonzalez pulls out of the draft, as does Noaker in the other lighter coloured car with the purple and the black on the bonnet, on the hood there, down into 10A, up into 4th for that car. Do I get the feeling here that there's just a little bit of sparring going on in this top 7? We're not really seeing what everybody's got. They're having a little bit of a look around to see where they might have a tiny advantage.
It's sparring, but they are punching hard. They're they're not aiming to just gently nudge. They're bruising right now.
Okay.
And by the way, most laps led, tied once again. Zilic and Wagner equal on points at this point in the race. 17.5 minutes to go. And Tyler Gonzalez stealing that 1 lap away. Could that make a big difference? Could he start leading laps and then come in for those 10 points? Neither Zilic nor Gonzalez involved in the top 5 of the championship, having run partial seasons and, by the way, won races when they came out to play.
Already, you got to think that we don't know all of the details for who's coming back next year, but you've got to think that Tyler Gonzalez would be a championship contender if he came back, but we're not sure about that, which is a shame because he's shown really good form. A little bit of damage to the driver's door mirror on the leader, Connor Zilic. At least it's on his side. It's slightly more aerodynamic than it was when they started the race. It's not unusual.
I don't know if it's aerodynamic or causing more of an aerodynamic issue, but Gresham Wagner doesn't care at the moment because it means that Zilic can't see him. He has the element of surprise as Robert Noaker looks down the inside of Tyler Gonzalez, now going through 10, can't get it done, backs out of it. He actually gets a little bit of a nudge from Max Sapolsky there.
Yes, I was going to use that piece of track, if you don't mind, Robert. Can you just stay a little bit wider? It's all very nice and contained at the moment. They've pulled away a healthy gap to Jared Thomas, who is now 3.8 seconds in arrears from the back of Thomas Annunziata, who settled in to 7th position, but top rookie. So Annunziata again, Shea, top rookie at the moment. Nate Cicero is only the 3rd best of the rookies.
Make that 2nd because off course has gone Julian DaCosta, the number 78, continuing slowly at the top of the S's. What happened to him going through turn 1? Just got too wide and lost it. Very similar to what we saw from John Somm, but he bounced in the wrong direction and wasn't able to bring it back on the hard stuff.
Tell you what, he's done well not to hit the wall there, because that is a fearsome and wild ride. He's gathered his thoughts, gone through the motorcycle chicane over the top of the hill from turn 3, and is bringing that car back around.
As it is now, Annunziata would still be 110 points shy of the Rookie of the Year championship.
Da Costa, having dropped out to second, will promote Nate Cicero to third, Jeremy Fletcher to second, excuse me, Nate Cicero, Jeremy Fletcher to third, and Bailey Cruz to fourth in the rookie standings in this race. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, and for the overall, Connor Zilic will lead another lap.
His 8th.
Running out of time now for people to peg him back for those extra 10 points. Here comes Gresham Wagner to the inside at turn 1. Just holds off the braking for a moment. There's not a huge amount of braking into turn 1. Lift off the throttle. It's probably, out of 10, it's probably a 2 or a 3. Press of the brake. Balance the car on the way in and use the hill to straighten you out.
Wagner's going to start to get irritated because he needs the 10 bonus points for leading the most laps in order to stand a charge against Celine Roland for third in the championship. That is a financial implication between those two positions. So he wants to lead the most laps, not because he thinks those bonus points would be nice, but because they are critical. Zilic doesn't need them. They don't matter to him.
How much are we talking about, the difference between those two championship positions?
At least $10,000.
Okay. That's $1,000 a point.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay. That seems like motivation enough for me, I would say. Never mind about the honour of being a position up in the championship, which also means something to these drivers. Gresham Wagner under pressure again. Zilic does not pull out, but Noaker does. And in the battle of the light-coloured cars, it's the 13 with the purple eyebrows, if you will, on that car. Into third now. But we saw this from Gonzalez yesterday. He played a very, very clever game. Led a few laps in the middle of the race, and he's led one here. He's got his right-hand door mirror folded back now after a little bit of side-by-side contact. Gonzalez in that white car with the green and red stripes and the yellow rollover hoop in fourth position. Just bided his time, and it was only in the last couple of laps when he started to move forward and challenge for the lead yesterday.
Wagner needs to lead this lap, and then he'll be tied with Zilic. But because he led more laps early, or led the first lap, I should say, he would get the 10 bonus points. So if Wagner leads this lap and no more, he gets the bonus points as long as it's not Zilic leading any of the other laps.
Okay.
So just something to tuck away in the back of your mind.
Through turn 6 and into 7. Brake lights coming on. A great exit from turn 7 from Connor Zilic. Again, almost too good. He's actually caught up to Wagner too early. Now he'll have just used his left foot on the brake pedal. He did not want to lift off the throttle there. He'd been full throttle. You flat shift. You do not lift your foot off the accelerator pedal as you pull the lever backwards to change up on the Sadev sequential gearbox. On the way down, it's an auto blip, and they're pushing forward on that gear lever now. The engine electronics automatically blip the throttle to help you engage the lower gears. Top 4 absolutely as one. It's 16 wheels of MX-5 action down through turn 12. And Wagner needs another lap with 11.5 minutes to go.
He's got the 10 bonus points for now, does Gresham Wagner, so that is important. Celine Roland back in 6th, Gresham in 1st. That would be an extra 100 points in the bag, 110 points for Gresham, which gets him close, but Roland needs to fall a few places further back.
Good news for Celine Roland is he's got Thomas and Annunziata behind him, and then 6 seconds of nothing before Jared Thomas comes through. Jared Thomas will have been told what's been going on and the retirements of other cars. He's really just got to bring it home. But he's staying out of trouble.
At this point, Jared Thomas doesn't even need to finish the race. He can park it and he's guaranteed the championship so long as he's not disqualified.
He's not going to do that. He's going to want, I think he's going to want to finish. He's going to want to see the last checkered flag of the season, and he's going to want, just in case, he's going to want some points buffer between himself. So through they come again, the leaders. Now down to 3 cars for the moment. In the final round of Idemitsu Mazda MX-5 Cup for 2023. Shea and John Hindhaugh in the Global Broadcast Centre. Wagner's going to have another little check mark on Shea's piece of paper for laps led. Oh yes, we've got all the technology here.
It's like, how many days have I been in prison? Let me put another little hash mark on the wall.
She does use the 5-bar gate method, in case anybody's wondering. Down to turn 1, chance of an overtake for the lead. But Gresham Wagner exceedingly late on the brakes. Just drifts over towards the edge of the track, but that's all right. The 2 white cars battling for 3rd and 4th. Robert Noega, Tyler Gonzalez, then Max Opalski is next. Celine Roland at the moment in 6th position, seemingly with a bit of a watching brief. Just not able at the moment. Well, that car's moving around. The 87 car, the black with the green and pink on the front. Took a little bit too much curb there coming through the middle part of the S's, but has had a good run through turn 5 and might have a challenge into turn 6 on Opalski. The other black and green car ahead of him can't make that one work. Behind them in 7th, Thomas Annunziata. In a bit of a lonely race now. He's a 2.5 seconds away from the top 6, and he's 6 seconds ahead of Jared Thomas, who's half a second ahead of his championship rival and teammate, Aaron Johnson. That's 1st and 2nd in the championship, 8th and 9th, the 96 and the 24 car. Then 2 Macumbi Makalia racing cars in the shape of Jean Jourdouin in 10th and the 39, and Nate Cicero on his way to the rookie championship, provisionally at least in the 83 car. He's in 11th position.
Keep an eye on Hickson's watermelon car, though, because Celine Roland has nothing to lose at this stage. Yep, he's going to get 3rd in the championship if he keeps doing exactly what he's doing. Has a look at Max Opalski, but decided not to go for it coming through into turn 12. Good move there. Celine has only gotten 2 podium finishes this entire season, which is super unusual. But this is his last race in the Idemitsu Mazda MX-5 Cup for the foreseeable future. Real-world job coming for Celine in the future, commercial pilot. He knows that now or never is the chance to get that final victory. It was so emotional when he got the win in the 2nd race at Watkins Glen. He wants to give Hickson one more thanks, and he'll do that today if he gets a sniff of an opportunity.
You might think, sitting down in 6th position and around about a second away from the leader, that that's being a bit ambitious, what Shea is saying there and what Celine Roland is thinking about. But we've seen in the past, and actually there he goes, immediately we start talking about him, he's moved up to 5th, and now he's almost right there on the back of the top 4, and this is exactly what I was about to say. It just decides when he wants to pull the pin. He will be able to draft up to the back of the leading 4 cars. He's just about in the draft now because of how strong it is down that long run from turn 7 to turn 10.
Use the draft.
Use the draft, Celine, yeah. This top 6 definitely right in with a shout. Thomas Annunziata having a lonely race in 7th is the best of the rookies, but not doing quite enough at the moment to overhaul Nate Cicero in the championship. The championship battle is 8th and 9th, coming through turn 10B now, and that's JTR's duo, the dynamic duo of Jared Thomas, who is the JT of JTR, and Aaron Johnson.
But in order to have a chance at the championship, he needed to lead the most laps. Well, he already can't do that because Gresham Wagner right now has 2 more laps led than Connor Zilic does. That's done and over. That's 10 bonus points that makes a difference for the championship. And how often do we talk about those bonus points making a difference? Jean-Sam needed all of them and to win the race. He's not going to do that today. He is not our 2023 champion. That honor goes to his teammate and team owner, Jared Thomas.
Coming home in team formation at the moment, those two. And all of a sudden, Gresham Wagner has broken the toe. And has he broken the hearts of Connor Zilic, Robert Noega, Tyler Gonzalez, Celine Roland, and Max Opalski as well?
5 minutes to go now.
Well, the problem here is that the car behind is not getting the draft at the moment. So Tyler Gonzalez and Celine Roland will draft up to the back of the black number 72. They're doing that now. They need to work together. They'll go down the inside. Yes, they have. And now Zilic needs to get onto the back of these two cars, and the 5 need to work together as Roland again goes ahead of Opalski. They've been changing positions the last couple of laps. These guys can't afford to fight each other here, Shea. They will let Gresham Wagner disappear.
They will if they do that, and Gresham now has secured most laps led in this race. He'll get those 10 bonus points, along with his 10 bonus points from getting the pole position. But what I'm noticing is Zilic and Roland are together, and notice on the side of their cars a very similar livery, because they're both with Hindhaugh Motorsport. They can work together. Everyone else is a singleton at the front.
They're going to have to do that rather quickly, because that was an 8.5 gap at the line. And that in Idemitsu Mazda MX-5 is like half a lap in most other series. We really aren't used to seeing this gap. If you add up all of the green flag finishes that we've had across the season, I don't think we're quite at 2.5 seconds yet for the whole of the season cumulatively. And yesterday was just over a 10th, which is actually one of the least close finishes we've had.
We're still at about 1.8 seconds.
Are we? Right.
Yep, so it's pretty good in terms of a cumulative finish, but the biggest gap that we've had this year was at VIR, the second race. It was 0.787 of a second. That was a mile, and look at this. Gresham Wagner no longer leading, dropping back. He's going back to 4th because Tyler Gonzalez and Robert Noaker have figured out how to work together, and right there as well, Connor Zilic.
That was literally within 3.5 miles of me seeing he was nearly a second up the road. Quite extraordinary. Now down to 4th position. 3.5 minutes, 2 laps of the Idemitsu Mazda MX-5 2023 season to go. This is all for the honour of the last top step of the podium. And Tyler Gonzalez is come to life again, as he did yesterday, maybe a little earlier. Noaker in 2nd position. 3rd, Connor Zilic in the green and black number 72. Then Gresham Wagner, who's led the most laps in this final round of the championship. Celine Roland trying to get back to them in 5th position with Max Opalski. Needs Max to give him a little bit of a push here. 2 cars will cut through the air better than a single machine. But the problem is they've got 4 cars still working together ahead of them.
And this is a Cinderella moment, a Goldilocks moment for Tyler Gonzalez. He's tried all the steps of the podium. He's figured out which one fits him exactly right. That would be the top step, but leading with 2.5 minutes to go does not guarantee you're going to get a trophy at the end of today's race.
Just wondering if we will actually see the white flag this time around. It might be a full course yellow. Have we got a full course yellow? We've got a yellow on the front straight because we've got a car in the wall.
Joe Rainey is in the wall.
One of the Robert Noaker racing cars. This could be it. This could be a race to the line with 2 minutes to go. Tyler Gonzalez needs to hold on to this to get his victory, and he's not going to. He's gone through. Noaker goes through and gets spun. And through on the grass. The pass on the grass is Connor Zilic. He's going to make it a double this weekend. And Tyler Gonzalez, once again, at the final corner, has not been able to hold on to it. Here comes Roland round the outside for the victory, but it goes to Zilic. And
we are still racing. It is a standing yellow only on the front straight.
Oh, my goodness. I thought we were going to full course yellow. We've got 2.5 miles still to go.
But we didn't even see the white flag that time around. So it's this lap and one more, as it's still showing green flag on the timing screen, and it's 2 Hindhaugh Motorsports cars at the front of this race.
So Celine Roland couldn't pass there because of the yellow. So he couldn't pass. He had to just stay in behind. I saw a stationary yellow in front of us. I thought it was a double. It's not, and we're being told Shea is right. There's 5 miles to go. Well, we're getting even more action than we had planned, because time will elapse on this lap, and then we'll have one more to go.
It's only fair because we started behind the safety car, so they're giving us a little bit more bang for our buck. I love this championship. It is Connor Zilic leading from his teammate Celine Roland in his final race. Who knows where Connor Zilic is going in the future as well. He's trying to get another win and go out on a high.
I'll guarantee you that the pit wall was thinking what we were thinking here in the booth, and the yellow was coming, and that's why the desperate moves down into 10A before what could have been the neutralisation of the race and the last race of the championship season. This is a decent run for the two Hickson cars, though. They are working together at the moment. Zilic, who won brilliantly yesterday with a late move, has got Celine Roland right on his tailpipes at the moment. Teammates now, but as the white flag goes out, I think we might see that any kind of cessation of hostilities will be over.
No
every driver, exactly, every driver for themselves in the last 2.5 miles of the championship season. Opalski in third, Gonzalez in fourth, Gresham Wagner in fifth. Those three battling for the last step on the box.
And you would not know that those three are fighting for third instead of first, because they are going at it. Max Opalski, 1 trophy on the season. He's gotten 5 top 5 finishes in the last 5 races. Wants to keep that streak alive. Well, he would like to get a little bit further up, but who knows what's going to happen between the Hickson teammates.
Well, they've got to be on the radio to the two leaders at the moment and say, yes, race, but don't lose the race victory. The guys on the wall will want to see a Hickson car come through in first position. Max Opalski's not quite there. Gonzalez is fighting off Gresham Wagner. It's a good run, though, from the two cars in fourth and fifth. It's the leaders, first and second, two Hickson cars. Connor Zilic with his driver's door mirror folded in. Here comes Celine Roland, defensive driving to the left-hand side of the road by the leader Zilic, but you can't go around the outside here. Then the cutback. Here comes Opalski. Tyler Gonzalez is off the road and will drop back to fifth position. Down the hill for the final time. It's still the two Hickson cars. Lights flashing from Celine Roland. It'll be a double this weekend for Connor Zilic. Celine Roland in his final race before he goes on to take his professional career as a commercial pilot. Comes home in second, flashing his lights in salute to his teammate. And coming through across the line in sixth position in the end, having got past Robert Noaker and Thomas Annunziata in the closing stages, our repeat and consecutive champion for the first time ever is Jared Thomas in the 96, subject to all the usual post-race checks. Connor Zilic has had a brilliant, absolute brilliant weekend. And what a finish. We had 2 finishes, really, because we thought we were going to go full course yellow, and I'm pretty sure the teams were telling the top 4 that, as Tyler Gonzalez went into turn 10A in the lead, clipped Robert Noaker, that took him out of the battle. He dropped down to 5th position in the 35 car, Gonzalez. Contact between the two white cars. The Hickson Motorsport machine of Connor Zilic taking to the grass and the gravel. Number 72 with a brilliant piece of avoidance. Gresham Wagner was right in there as well in the multicoloured car. Bit of a sideswipe from Zilic, but kept his head. And Celine Roland, what a move. He's just sidestepped everybody into second place. And that, a couple of laps later, is exactly how they've finished. New door mirror required on the driver's side of the Hickson number 72. Well, that's a trophy in itself, but it's the big check and the big trophy for Connor Zilic as he doubles up on Petit Le Mans weekend. Nate Cicero came home in second of the rookies in 11th place, with Thomas Annunziata taking the final rookie win of the season. But that, I believe, is enough, Shea, for Nate Cicero to take the Rookies Championship and the big check.
So bear with me for a second on this. Jared Thomas is our champion provisionally, 3,930 points, ahead of Aaron Johnson in second, 3,560, so big gap between those two. In third, Celine Roland, 3,370. Gresham Wagner, 3,360 in fourth. So 10 points. We talk about the bonus points making a difference. Next would be fifth. That goes to Max Opalski, who has a great end of the season, and he's up to 3,050. Rookie of the Year, it is Cicero. Cicero, who finishes sixth in the championship, 2,980, ahead of Thomas Annunziata, 2,840.
And our first ever repeat champion will be honoured on the podium. Jared Thomas, not only is the first one to do it twice. He's done it 2 years running. New records being set on a brilliant season for Idemitsu Mazda MX-5. The last 2 race victories going to Hindhaugh Motorsport and Connor Zillage. The championship to Jared Thomas and JTR. Shea, Adam and I have had a cracking season. The championship will be back at Daytona in 2024. I hope you can join us then. For the whole crew, bye for now.